Hello, hi there, Cancer or Cancerians. I'm Bella, and welcome to my channel. And this is your monthly forecast for April 2017, and how I do my readings as I do them with the help of my spirit guides, because that's how I work. And most people know me as Bella, the Secret Psychic. So, welcome to my channel. If you do like what I have to say, do like, do comment, do share. And if you'd like to know more about me and my services, just look at the link below, and you can join my Facebook community as well. You're most welcome. So, I feel today that I've got a lot to explain about what's happening astrologically, but also that this reading, which I find at least once a month, a different star sign, that it can be quite specific to a certain group of Cancerians that are experiencing a certain thing and will be experiencing a certain thing in particular at the beginning of the month in April. So it is not applicable to everybody. So if this is not applicable to you, then I would come back next month. So normally this is a general overview, but it feels extremely specific for a group of Cancerians that will be experiencing something. Why? Well, in April we have quite a large phenomenon. We have a Venus retrograde, which started in the beginning of March anyway, but it sort of lingers until the 16th of April. And the Venus retrograde does many things. And in particular, it's going to be doing something particular for you Cancerians where this concerns. But also we have 4 planets going retrograde in April, which is a phenomenon. It doesn't happen every day. It doesn't happen every month. This takes years for something like this to happen. So you've got Venus in retrograde, Mercury going retrograde from the 10th. You've got Saturn and Pluto also going retrograde. 4 astrological bodies staying still in the sky, doing all sorts, I have to say. Some of it good, some of it not so good. So, are you ready, Cancerians? My guides want to start the first week like this, and this is where the Venus retrograde can be quite revealing, and its method of madness is to bring us to our highest good, even if that means causing pain. It's needing people to see things for what they really are and to have things revealed, and that's very much what my guides are saying here. For these Cancerians who are watching this, you will come to the revelation that somebody's been hiding something, some deceit that may have been niggling with you already, but it definitely comes out in this week highly. So for me, this is going to be most likely deceit when it comes to whether they've been completely faithful to you. Also, if it's not that, then I get people who perhaps were engaged or in marriages that suddenly, particularly those who thought that they were engaged and they were going somewhere or they had wedding plans, that the other person in your life pulls the rug from under your feet and it is changed, that they no longer want to proceed in that kind of way. And this is why I feel it's quite specific, because that, of course, is going to be quite devastating news to some people. And not that it's going to fill you with great comfort when this happens, but there again is a reason why the energy of Venus has done that. Is because they want your highest good. They don't want you to be going into situations where you're being deceived by somebody else who has somebody else around them, or that you're in or going to marry somebody who actually doesn't want what you want, that they've been deceiving you and they're basically coming clean. So as much as it may feel hurtful at that time, it is actually for your highest good. So as I say this, I am sending those people that will be going through that experience healing and love at this time, because it will feel not good, not going to lie. But it is for your highest good, and it's only in a few months to come that you'll look back in reflection and see why it needed to happen. But I'm really sorry that this is happening for those of you who will be experiencing this. Again, even if you're you're single, you're newly dating somebody, it feels to me you'll probably find out that you're not the only one. Again, really, really sorry. So I feel so uncomfortable. But in the second week, of course, why wouldn't you be? You're not going to be anyone's friend. You're not going to be feeling the greatest. I get sadness, lowness, emotional, trying to figure things out, feeling a bit unbalanced. And it doesn't help, because then the Venus retrograde does end, and then we've got the Mercury retrograde, which is awfully good at magnifying all the negative that was happening in a connection. So if you can imagine, you've had this bad news, and then you have this sadness upon you. You're just not going to be feeling like you want anything, that anything's going right Completely normal, completely natural. You are in the grieving process. Like I said, you will be healed and protected by your own spirit guides at this time, but please know that it is all happening for your highest good. Because we have this energy of these astrological bodies and the way that will affect you, and because this, again, remember, this is only for specific Cancerians. I'm not saying this is for all Cancerians. This is definitely a message for those who are going through this, because Spirit wants them to know that they are supported, healed and loved, and that this is for their highest good, even if they don't feel like it at the time. In the third week, particularly for those of you where you was engaged, you was living with that person, you were married to them, there is some practical elements that need to come up, that need to be sorted, the dividing of stuff, the unbooking of things. Some might lead to conflict as well, because of you feeling like you're doing it all when the other person started this or caused the problems. It feels like that, and particularly for those where you found out there was some cheating, you may be under the illusion that you might want to think that you can fight for this, or try to even argue or fight with the person who was the other person. I think, again, all of that is really natural to want to do, because that's human instinct, but it's not self-serving. It feels to me that actually by removing that person, by separating stuff, by cancelling stuff, is very much, as hard as it is, the process that needs to be done, so that things are not left in the air, so that your agony is not being prolonged any necessary. So you just take a deep breath, do what you do best and show your best side, because I have to say, this is not your fault. It is not your fault. It's the fault of the other person. You, my guides are saying, did not do anything wrong. You did not do anything wrong. But what you are doing right for yourself is letting them go. And again, I say that with love. And you will get this. You will get this in the end of the day, that the spirit and how this all played out and how it was revealed was for your highest good. And I know that you will know that, but it won't feel great. But let me give you some hope, because as you get to the end of the month, as hard as it is, but this is where you need to understand the strength that you have in yourself, Cancerians, and oh boy, do you have strength more than you realise it, even as you're going through despair. At the end of the month, you recognise that you didn't do wrong, that you have hope, that you start to see how you can progress this forward your way, that actually you're the one that's always been in control. You're not going to let this other person's energy get to you and your psychology. You're going to let this drive you forward in a new direction. It feels to me, in that week in particular, you really sort of scrape back everything. And like, for some of you, I don't think this is going to be necessarily a surprise, but even if it wasn't a surprise, it still hurts. But you are empowered more, because, like I said, you are supported by spirits, and so what they're going to be helping you in combined with all these elements that are happening astrologically, is build your strength. So despite you maybe still be feeling melancholy, do know that you can see the way forward as you get to the end of the month. You see your direction, and even though it's hard, you will gather yourself together and you will walk towards the light. And you're doing that because you're being supported by literally friends and family, but you're also, more importantly, being supported by spirit to get through that, because it is for your highest good that this connection needed to be revealed for what it really was, so that you didn't suffer in the longer term, which could have happened. It is a gift that this has happened, and I know you won't see it right now. Such a hard reading to give today. I really hope this has helped people, but do know you're just at the start. Sometimes when we're at our lowest, there's only one way to go, and that's up. And you'll be reminded of that as you get to the end of the month. And do know that your process that you're going through, as low as it is, that you're being supported, you're being loved, you're being healed, and you will get through this. You will. So I really hope that was useful for those people who were supposed to see this particular reading today for Cancerians. Again, like I said, it's not going to be applicable for everybody, but it was definitely a message that my guides wanted to give to those who were experiencing this in this month. And unfortunately, you've got all these astrological bodies to blame for it, but it is necessary for your highest good. So again, I do hope this has been helpful. If you'd like to know more about me and my services, please look at the links below, and try. For those of you where this has happened, do try to know that it's all going to be all right. Take care.